Hi everyone, my name is Jem Morrison and today I'm going to show you muscular strength exercises. I picked the long-term care residents as my population, so I'm in a seated position. That is, most of our residents do their exercises in a seated position, regardless if it's a normal group exercises, muscular strength exercises, and the balance prevention exercises is gonna be a standing position, but our normal exercises that we do is always on a sitting position. So, what we need today for muscular strength exercises are weights. I have two, and I also have a band. Some adaptations for residents in long-term care. You can either use a null poodle instead of weights, or like bottled mineral water and just fill it with water or whatever lighter weights if 1 pound is not appropriate for them. But you can get weights with 0.5 pounds, 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we shall begin with a warm-up exercises. So every physical activity or physical fitness program we do, we need to do some warm-ups. And it starts with breathing exercises. So take a deep breath with your nose. So you're gonna inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Inhale, exhale. I usually gonna do this for like 10 counts, and the last 5 counts after, or 15 counts, and then the last 5 counts of the 15 counts, I usually ask them to hold their breath for like 5 counts before releasing it. And the next one is gonna be rotating the wrists. So both arms on the side, and you're gonna rotate your wrist outward direction. 10 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And they're gonna shake their hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And they can take a deep breath in between the rotation, and it's always nice to remind them. And the next one is it's just some few exercises, warm-up exercises that I'm going to show you before I proceed with muscular strength exercises that I prepared. So for our shoulders, we're just going to rotate our shoulders backward, both shoulders, rotate, 2, 3, 10 counts, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you're gonna do it on the opposite direction, moving your shoulders forward. 10 counts as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then we're gonna do one more just for the head, for the neck. It's gonna be moving your neck up and down. Up, chin down, move your head up, and down. That's 2. Up and down. 3, 4, and 5. Move your head up. 6, 7. Move your head up. 8. And the last 2. It's gonna be 9. And up and down. So when I do exercises with them, I want to make sure that I repeat the actions every time, and then I count at the same time so they are aware. And if some people have visual impairments or hearing impairments, they were able to catch up by like, or they will not hear for the first time, or they will not see it for the first time, but then they will do for after consecutive times. Okay, since we also have, we're gonna use some legs on this muscular strength exercises, I also would like to do some warm-ups on our legs. So very simple, I just want them to raise their feet left and right, so it's like making a steps or walking on a seated position. We're gonna start with the right, left, right, left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I just do 10 counts for now, but usually I make 16 counts repetition, or 16 counts for each movement for the warm-up. Okay, so let's do our muscular strength exercises. For the first one, it is our back. And this one actually is one of my residents' favorite. So it is good for the posture. So we're gonna move our arms forward and then move it large to the motions to the back. So front and back, front and back. And this is gonna be 16 counts. So like 1, 2, move your arms front, back, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'd like to count on 16 counts, and on the next 8 I'd like to count backwards. It's usually challenging for the brain, but it also helps for the residents for their to give them a little bit of challenge. So my next step for the back exercise is I'm gonna use a band. So I'm gonna put this band on my foot, on right foot. So we can do both, and so as you can see, I'm gonna extend my legs in front of me with my heels on the floor and toes pointed forward, and I have the band placed around the bottom of my foot, and the tension in the band with hands is in starting position at the knees, so it's on my knee level. Keeping the tension on the band, I'm gonna slide my hand up on my thigh and then to my hips, and I'm just gonna squeeze it a little bit. This is how it works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So regarding with the band, there's also different kinds of strength of the band, which is equivalent to weight, but I only have, I think this is 2 pounds. Okay, we're gonna switch with our left foot, the same thing. I'm gonna extend my legs, and then in front of me, my heels is on the floor, my toe is forward, and my elbow should be close to my waist. And starting position, my hand is on my knees, and I'm gonna stretch the band again towards my waist. Let's begin for 16 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So that is for our back exercises. Now we're gonna go with our chest. So our residents usually in a seated position, as what I've said. So this one is very simple. They're gonna put their arms in front of them, and they're just gonna stretch their hands sidewards. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So that is the exercises for our chest. The next one will be our shoulder exercises. So we already did a rotation on the shoulders. What we're gonna do is we're gonna move our shoulders up and down. For the strength, like let's do it. Up and down, 16 counts. Up, down, up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So aside from moving your shoulders up and down, which is also part of our warm-up actually, another exercises for the shoulders, for our muscular strength, is like I let the residents move their right hand up as high as they can, and then they will hold it for 10 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And on the left, move your hands up above your head as high as you can and hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Sometimes they like to challenge themselves and they want to ask me like, can we do 12? Can we do 15? But anyway, yes, that is one of our shoulders exercises. The next one we're gonna do is the bicep curl. We're gonna use weights. So we're gonna work on our upper arm muscles for the biceps, and it can be done using weights or bands, but usually I use weights or your pull noodle for some. And if you are using a band, you can step on one and grip the other ends for your hand. But since we're using the dumbbell or the weights, we're gonna pull up, we're just gonna hold it and then um, move our hands opposite direction back and forth. And remember to remind the residents, or your elbow should be on your waist. It's not, especially with the weights, it's gonna be hard on your shoulders. So the the elbow should be on your waist and it's not moving around or doing any hyper movements. So we'll just have our weights close to our body, and then we're gonna do like, and let's do 16 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more thing is with weights, it has to be slow movement, especially with the population that I am leading. I have to remind them, and I have to remind myself to slow down when we're using weights. So that is for our bicep curl. We're gonna use a tricep curl extension. So we're gonna use a band. We're gonna use a band for a tricep curl. Using a band, only grip the band with both ends and put against your chest and pull the other one band down with one hand, straightening your elbow. So this band is a little bit longer, so I'm gonna fold it. There you go. So, and when you hold it, make sure that it's not on your finger or anything. Make sure that it's in your whole arm. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna straighten this one and make sure that your elbow is also close to your body. It's still short. Okay, so we're gonna pull, and I'm sitting, but if you're standing, you can extend it. But yeah, so from your chest, you're gonna pull the band down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, and 1. So it is a little bit hard because we're in a sitting position, and of course with the residents, all they need to do is the same thing, just hold it and then just stretch. There you go. Okay, now we're going to do our leg exercises. So with our leg exercises, I usually do the kick one. So they're gonna raise their right foot first. We'll start with the right foot and extend it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And always remind them to have a break, take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now we're going to do our left leg. So we're gonna kick, we're gonna raise our left leg up and down, up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Every time we lift our feet from the ground, I always remind our residents that when they put it back, the feet should be flat on the ground, because when they do the exercises, that's also going to be their foundation when they go for a walk. So it is very important to walk properly. So when we're doing our exercises, I always remind them to like kick and put your feet flat on the ground and kick. Okay, I have one more leg exercises that we love to do. We're gonna lift our knee like as high as you can. 1. So I'm usually gonna ask them to sit like in the middle of their chair, so they can lift like it's not hard for them to reach their knee. So up, up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So it's also very important for me to remind myself to slow down when lifting it, because I might be too fast for them. Okay, we're gonna move on with our left. We're gonna lift our knee up on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's for our leg exercises. And we can ask them again to take a deep breath. But for our next is gonna be the core. So the core is gonna work on our stomach, our abdomen. So there are 2 kinds that we used. One is I'm gonna ask them to sit in the middle of their chair, not too much, just to move just to have a distance between their back and the chair. So they're gonna put their hands around their body like this, and then they're gonna move back as far as they reach the chair, and then forward. So 16 counts for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, my chair is making noise, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, And the other way that we can do it too is opposite direction. We're gonna move forward. So we're gonna put their hands on the same, like on the opposite, hands on the opposite shoulders, and they're gonna move their head down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and the last 2, 2, and 1. And of course, the assessment prior to exercises is very important. Scanning your residents, making sure that like there is nothing that is below normal for them, like their facial expression. You can see if they're in pain, their color, skin color, if they're pale, any movements, hyperactivity, or like restless, being restless, any signs that is showing discomfort and pain. And also it's very important to know prior to exercises about your residents, if they have shoulder injury or they had shoulder surgery, because all of the physical exercises would probably varied with regards to their limitations and ability individually. So thank you so much. That is all for muscular strengthening exercises. And also at the end, remind them to take a deep breath and words of affirmation or words of celebration for making it through the exercises is also something that will add up to a very positive experience. Thank you.